Welcome back to Sunrise. We're getting ready for exciting times. I told you before the break that we are going to Paris. We're going to Paris Podium. So stick and stay with Orville Higgins.
Good morning, Sunrisers. How are you? And as we look ahead to the start of track and field at the Olympics, here's an obvious question. What kind of infrastructure and resources should we be dedicating to the sport to ensure that we continue to churn out the top-class athletes that we currently do? And joining us for a quick few minutes to discuss this, the manager to Jamaica's Carifta team, Sharon Richards, and of course Michael Carr, the man who has led the track and field program at Woolmers and also at the national level for a very, very long time. I don't want to say 30 years or 40 years. You might start guess the man's age. Ladies and gentlemen, how do you do?
Morning.
All right, they usually say ladies before gentlemen, but I'll break protocol a little bit. I'll yield to the man with the 40 years worth of coaching in track and field. I'll go straight to the question. What infrastructure and things we can put in place to ensure that we continue the mill of producing the top-class athletes that we do?
Well, for that to happen, we have to go to the root. So we're talking about the prep and the primary kids. That's where we need to be. The other day I was watching primary champs and also the JTA All-Island Championship. And the amount of athletes that we saw running barefooted, that is something we probably look at how we can change that. After a day or two, a lot of the athletes could not compete much because their foot bottoms sore. Right. And that's a primary level. And I think we also need to respect those coaches at that level, the primary and the prep school level, because as bad as things are and as good as things are, they are the ones who discovered some of those talents early out and then send them up to the next level, just like how the high schools send them up to the next level. Right. So we need to respect some of those coaches and schools and athletes in that area.
Okay. All right, Shireen, your answer to that.
The infrastructure is needed. The game has changed, and in order for us to continue to turn out the athletes that we have been turning out, we need to put the investment in these athletes. So think, for example, MVP that their home is UTEC, one of the top universities in Jamaica, and they don't have a Chevron track. They do their grass season, and then they have to move to Stadium East to get on the Chevron track. You know, it's faster when you run on the Chevron versus the grass. We're looking at infrastructural development for the sport of track and field that has been the flag bearer for us for the Olympics. Right? When we look at the other sports, how they get the infrastructure is by hosting games. So the stadium got a little beef up because of World Championships. World Championship netball, we got the Indoor Sports Center. World Cup cricket, we got the North Stand because of World Cup cricket and the Trelawney Stadium. What has happened to the Trelawney Stadium? They haven't put a track down there. There are a lot of schools in Trelawney that would have benefited from a track that side. Right now, the infrastructure is coming through old boys and gifts and from persons who are investing in at the high school level. So a KC, a JC, a Calabar has a track. But then we're thinking of the maintenance of the track. And then schools like Woolmers, I can only talk about us, Mr. Carr is here. We have to call a friend from next door to say, can we borrow your track? Can we use your track to do some baton exchanges? So I think we need to, in order to turn out the quality athletes for years to come, invest at the level Mr. Carr spoke about, the primary level.
Not just in people.
Not just in the people.
But in the infrastructure.
But in the infrastructure, so that the students will be better able to perform with the quality infrastructure and materials that they will compete in.
Right. I don't have too much time, but here's one more I want to get you to.
I just want to interject quickly there. We're talking about infrastructure. Let us look at the Catching All Stadium. No, to me, that's a disgrace. I can say that. That's the only track we have on the western part of Jamaica. No, it's unfair for people to be leaving from Hanover, St. James, Westmoreland at all times
to come to
GC
for a thing called Western Champs.
To come for Western Champs.
I get the point.
And that stadium has been down for a while now.
All right, we don't have too much time, but I have to ask you this. We're seeing Jamaicans doing brilliantly in the sprints, and if you include the 400 as well, since of late we're doing well in the jumps as well, especially the long jump, what can we do to ensure that maybe 2-3 Olympics from now, we can start seeing Jamaicans feature in like the high jump, the steeplechase, the long distance events? In a nutshell, how can we address that?
Okay, I would think that we would get better in the field events than probably in the steeplechase and stuff.
And
that's
long
not our
distance
nature.
events. Right.
We have to face facts. It's not our nature. And the type of training that is needed for those events, I don't think we are ready to
So for now, let's concentrate on what we are strong in.
Concentrate on what we are strong. Later on, we try fit in.
Keep it simple. You need sand for long jump. What is Jamaica known for?
Oh.
Sun, sea, and sand, the beaches.
Yeah.
So if any at all students who attend schools on the coast, they can even go to the beach to do long jump training.
All right.
They create the pits on the sand, get a little runway, sir. We have to create it. We have to do like the Domreps and the Cuba, take our hand on fashion and make it happen.
All right, so we're going to be leaving it here. Thanks to Shereen Richards. As you heard, our former national player herself has been manager of Carifta teams. And Mekana Grudger, she'll be going off to the Olympics. And of course, Michael Carr, veteran coach in the business and a man who we constantly lean on from time to time for his expertise and knowledge. Big up on yourself, Sunrisers. Continue to stay part of CVM's broadcast of the Olympics in terms of all these discussions. And join us tonight when Paris Podium will continue. The name is Orville Higgins. Take care of yourself. So long.